Hello, my name is Leah McMillan. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer with Trend Micro. Trend Micro is one of the largest and most trusted cybersecurity companies in the world. We have over 7,000 employees who are all striving to make the world safe for exchanging digital information. And one of our philosophies is not just about making the world safe, but it's about making the world a better place. And certainly one of the things we do is look to support initiatives that are near and dear to our hearts in our local communities. That's why Trend is a proud sponsor of 24-Hour Yogapalooza in support of CHIO. Unfortunately, many of us in Canada, in the Ottawa area, are parents who have known the pain of what it's like to have a child diagnosed with cancer. We know the journey of what it's like to spend hundreds of hours at CHIO. And we also are so thankful to be in a place where the good doctors and nurses and staff at CHIO can support our journey and help heal our children. Thank you so much for being part of 24-Hour Yogapalooza and making a difference in the lives of kids with cancer.
Hi, I'm Jenn Stow. Thanks so much for tuning in and for being part of the 24-Hour Yogapalooza, helping to raise money for cancer research, specifically for children. I know it's probably been a long week for most of us, a lot of us working from home or working in a desk. You're doing a lot of sitting, or maybe a lot of standing at your job. So this class today is a nice little deep stretch class to help you open up your shoulders and your hips and to make you feel blissful after maybe a day of work, or maybe as you begin your day, so you start off on the right foot. So you'll need a few things for class. So if you need to get the list and then pause while you run to get the props you need. First of all, you need a yoga strap, and that could also be a belt, or a karate belt works really well. 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can use something similar. I've seen people use Tupperware containers with the lids on, big books. Anyways, we're gonna do 2 blocks. And we're also gonna practice somewhere near the wall. Okay? And we're gonna get started in a supported back bend, which is kind of what we call the desk worker's counter pose. Seems like a good place to start. So you just come onto your backs, and with your 2 blocks, place one of them under the back of your heart. So I usually do mine at the lowest height, and then block comes across your shoulder blades. You're gonna lay that one down first. That's usually how I do it. You can do it differently, of course. And then the second one, you're gonna place so it lands at the back of your skull. So usually lay that one down second. It's usually a bit further, like 10 inches away. You test that out. You get comfortable on your back. We'll allow this to be our starting shape. So the neck is long, the heart is lifted, and the arms will fall open like wings, maybe like a T or in a cactus shape. Now with your legs, you can slide your feet together, let your knees open if that feels nice for you. The other option would be to just knock the knees together and pigeon the feet. And option 3 would be to have your legs straight. Just allow your feet to flop open to the sides. And just fall into your first shape. And as you dive into this class, try to let go of expectation that you might have for yourself, for me, or even for the class you're about to join. As you settle into this first shape, try to let go of thinking and worrying about what you've done before and now. And try not to worry about what's coming next.
But give yourself the next 45 minutes or so to be fully present in each of the stretches that we do today. And as you fall into each shape, allow your body to surrender. And allow your mind to follow. So as a vehicle for letting go of tension and holding on, we focus on the breath as our anchor, as the thing that will keep us present in this practice today. So breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out through your nose throughout the class today. Breathe in and feel the ribs expand in all directions. And as you breathe out, feel your body melting heavier onto the block and into the floor. As you breathe in, feel the ribs expand and move apart. And as you exhale, feel the ribs knit back together. And in this first shape, as you breathe in and out, notice the feeling in the chest as the heart opens. The collar broadens, the shoulders, the arms fall back into the earth. Start to add a little bit of movement with the arms, keeping your body in this supported fish shape. Start to inhale your arms up over your shoulders and see if your hands can stay heavy and on the floor. And then exhale, allow your arms to come out to the side like a T. And continue that arc as your hands come down by your hips. Make a snow angel. Inhale the arms up and over the head. The arms fall back behind you, and then exhale your arms back down by your hips. Continue this breath. You breathe in to fill your lungs, and as your arms rise over your head, you feel like you could expand through your ribs even more. And slowly empty the lungs as your arms slide back down by your side. And one more time, and now slowly the arms rise up and over the head. Now interlock the fingers. Push the palms up and away as the pinky fingers fall to the mat. Allow the arms to fall towards the earth. Big shoulder stretch. And then cactus the arms out to the sides. Bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. Roll over onto your right into field position. And as you roll, bring the left hand behind you to hold the block that's behind you and to remove it. Take one block out in front of you. Rest with your head on the block or on your arm like a pillow and stay here for a moment before you move on. Just notice how it feels. Notice the post effects of that upper back stretch. And then push into your left hand, extend your leg, come on up. And as you sit up, turn and come to hands and knees. In hands and knees position, your blocks and put them on either side of your yoga mat at the front, kind of like goal posts for the next pose. Rest your hips back towards your heels for a moment, tuck your toes under. Okay, and then just walk your hands back onto your thighs. And take a nice little toe stretch here. You want as much flexion at the toe joint as you can where the toe meets the foot. So perhaps walk your feet in a little bit closer.
And then really sit back onto the toes for a nice squish. Allow your hands to rest on your thighs. You could pull your baby toes away a little bit, away from your second toe. And if you have issues with your knees, slide a rolled up towel underneath them or sit back on a cushion. Stretch your toes without overstretching. It is a little bit like toe torture. And then start to move back and forth into a little bit of a rhythm. On your inhale, you can come forward and out of the stretch, and on the exhale, sit back into it. Come out of it and stretch deeper. Come out of it and stretch deeper. And sit back and find your edge where it feels like a little bit like toe torture, but in a good way. Take a deep breath in, breathe down into your toes, and then breathe out, come out, and take the tops of your feet to the ground. As we counter stretch, sit back onto the tops of the feet. For some of us, this is enough. For some of us, it's already too much. You'll want to put the block under your butt. If it's not enough for you, take your hands onto your calves and roll your calves out. Separate your feet and sit between your heels. So as we stretch the feet in the opposite direction, if it's possible, or in the saddle of the feet. If it's not possible, sit on the block or the feet. And then lean back a little bit. Feel the stretch of the front of the body as you lean back. With bent elbows to the earth, or lying all the way down. Drop your chin to your chest here as you stretch the front of the legs. Sometimes too, it may be helpful to lift up your pelvis, tilt it, put your bum back down. Feel a deep stretch in the front of the body without overstretching. Feel that slight discomfort in the shape, and then enjoy the feeling of coming out. Come to hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and roll and free the ankles. Roll them in one direction. Crack the toes, perhaps roll them in the other direction. Okay. Now tuck the toes under and bring the left hand behind the knee. Draw the left leg forward to the front. Bring your hands up onto the blocks at any height you wish to. Then we're going to take something, perhaps slide it under that right knee to pad your knee slightly, or roll that under. Good deal. So as we come into our low lunging posture, first, sort of walk your hands up onto your left thigh into proposal position. I want to keep the pelvis neutral, so the belly is drawn in, and the tailbone really faces down towards the earth. Now, with this neutral pelvis, start to lean forward. Start to bend into that left knee more, and feel the front of the right hip draw closer to the floor. Good. Then maybe take your hands back onto the blocks, onto the floor, or really in any position that you want them to be. As we sink into this low lunge, feel the stretch in that front right hip. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And find a little bit of discomfort when you feel the stretch without overstretching. Notice if you kind of want to rush out of this, if it's uncomfortable or your mind is wandering to find a distraction. And notice that and just come back to being present. Come back to focusing on the breath, focusing on the feeling and the sensation in the front of the right hip and leg. And relaxing the jaw, the face, the shoulders, and letting gravity take you into this one just a little deeper. Now, in yoga and in life, you know the best part of discomfort is like when it is over. It feels blissful. So take your hands onto the blocks, and let's come back into that half splits pose. The left toes are going to lift, the butt reaches back, stretch your hamstring deeply. Walk your arms out, and just fold over that left leg. Deep breaths. Return to even further forward, and fold even more. And just let your head relax. It doesn't really participate in this posture at all. If you have a full splits practice, feel free to slide your legs out into your deepest stride, or just stay here and be satisfied with half splits. Just stay present when your mind wanders. Just kind of notice where your thoughts went. Put those thoughts on a shelf for later. Come back to your breathing. You hear yourself in the sensation in your hamstring and the feeling of the breath moving in and out. And then the changes, bend into the left knee and come back to hands and knees. Just switch legs, as simple as that. Take the right leg forward, have the left knee flipped. And start to come up into proposal position. So first, we stack our shoulders over our hips and our hips over shoulders. Try to find a neutral pelvis. Avoid sticking your butt out. Okay, so you might feel the stretch if you come down just an inch, depending on the activities that you're doing in your other workouts. You may need to come down a little further. You might want to come down even more. Your hands could go on your front leg or your blocks. You're just going to sit with this stretch and then breathe into it. If it's slightly uncomfortable, then sort of breathe into that uncomfortable part of your body and anchor yourself there. Try to direct your breath to where you do feel that pose the most. Consciously create space and release tension. Relax your shoulders. The more you can let gravity take you deeper, the more you may feel this in the hip flexor. Breath fills you up. The exhale empties you out. Sink a little deeper into this one and then prepare for the counter stretch. So right toes up, hips pull back. It's the half splits. Reach the toes up towards the head. Reach the arms out past the shoulders and fold over the right leg. Perhaps come to full splits and slide your legs out into their deepest stride. Or stay here, bowing to that right leg. Feeling the hamstring all the way up to the hip. Feeling the calf all the way down to the heel. Feeling the head fall down and letting go of any wandering thoughts as you do that. Big stretch. Lovely. And then just come up back to the lunge and back to hands and knees. In hands and knees this time, bring your knees together and the tops of your feet to the floor. Bring your hands behind you with the tops of your hands down as you come to rabbit posture. A nice little upper back stretch. Take the head down into the floor. Allow the arms to fall open, shoulder blades to broaden, to move apart. And just feel the belly move and expand against the thighs. And rest here. Forehead softening against the earth. Just breathing into the back of the heart. Bring the hands onto the floor. And push yourself up. For the next part, you're going to need a block, rather a strap, and a wall. So we're going to swing our body to face the wall, and I'll show you here. You're going to turn over and start with your feet on the wall like a chair position. You're going to feet on the wall as you lie down. Now, if you're very, very tight, you're just going to stay here with your knees over your hips. If you're more open,
feel free to kind of scoot yourself in and get your bum closer to the wall. All right, now take the right ankle, cross it over the left thigh and make a figure 4 stretch. Take the right hand onto the right outer leg or knee and kind of encourage the right thigh in external rotation. Your left foot is in flexion. You'll feel the hip more that way. You want to feel your lower back stay on the mat as you push the right knee in towards the wall. If it's underwhelming, make sure you're close enough to the wall to feel it. If it's overwhelming, back yourself up. It's okay too. The hips are the largest joint in the human body. So they tend to carry a lot of tension. Breathe into this hip stretch for a few more breaths with your eyes shut. Now keep your ankle hooked over your left thigh and move the left foot down towards the baseboards. The ankle stays hooked and the right foot goes on the mat. Open the arms out like a T and drop the chin over to the right shoulder. Close your eyes and surrender into this beautiful twist. Let go of tension in your lower back. Feel your outer right hip. And as you breathe, breathe into your upper lungs. If you're resisting to do so, close your eyes. If you really don't want to, close your eyes. Focus on one thing that doesn't move instead. Every time you breathe, relax deeper into the shapes. Soften and surrender. Now, walk the left foot back up the wall and unhook the right ankle. Hook your left ankle over your right thigh. Flex your left foot, push your left knee towards the ball. Don't expect both of your legs to feel the same. Notice one hip might be tighter than the other. Breathe into the hip. If your bum lifts up, try to push it back down. Breathe into where you feel it the most. And anchor yourself in the sensation. Feel a deep stretch as you inhale and a letting go feeling as you exhale. Don't try. Do the opposite of trying. Try to let go of effort. Use your left hand to encourage thigh rotation. Sometimes I even use my right hand to keep my foot flexed. Breathe into the sensation. And now without unhooking your ankle, let your legs fall over to the right. Open your arms out to the side and enjoy this beautiful twist going the other direction. There's a little bit of a neck stretch happening here. And the eyes shut down. Relax behind your eyes. Notice what comes up for you. Physically, where do you feel the tension? Now breathe into it and then let it go. And mentally notice where your mind wanders when it wanders. And choose to let those thoughts go, and you can come back to them another time. Choose to get out of your head and into your body. Be grounded from the shoulders. Feel gravity take you where you need to go. Walk your right foot back up the wall. And put your left foot on the wall too. Find your strap. You're gonna make a loop in your strap that is the same width as your hips, okay? So, the width of my hips, about this wide. The loop in your strap is a loop that you don't want to be able to slip, okay? Bring your bum very, very close to the wall and slip the loop around your calves. As we move into the restorative legs of the wall pose, use the strap trick if you ever feel like your legs are falling down. If you don't have a strap today, you can do it without it. But allow the knees to bend with your bum sitting on the wall. Allow your arms to just fall down by your sides without effort. If you spent your day seated or standing or just walking around on this earth, allow this posture to be the counter pose for your day. Feel really light in your feet. Feel like your legs are floating to the ceiling effortlessly. Soften your belly, that we so often spend our day sucking in and engaging. Soften your belly. Let go of tension. Feel like the blood from your toes is coming down your feet, past your ankles, and dripping down your legs towards your hips. In this mild inversion, expect the toes maybe to fall asleep or tingle. If a thought comes up for you, don't ignore it right away, notice it, and then choose to deal with it later. We only give our thoughts attention when we focus on them. Learn to be an observer of your mind's wandering and choose to focus instead. For the last few breaths here, allow your body to fully surrender to the shape. Notice the sensation in your legs. Notice the feeling of heaviness in the body and in the head. And then when you're ready, slowly drag your feet and place them on the wall. While you're here, unstrap your feet from the strap and roll over onto either side of your body with your feet at the baseboards of the wall in fetal position. Push yourself up, and we're going to finish sitting against the wall, perhaps on the block, for a little bit of a seated meditation. If you prefer, lie down in Shavasana and enjoy it supine or lie down. Meditation or seated meditation against the wall can be pretty handy to help align you correctly so that your head is over your shoulders are over your hips. So get yourself into that position. We often call it the easy pose or the Sukhasana pose. And perhaps you would guide this first foot down to the top of the foot and the knee, and the shin would be on the mat, and then it would be staying with the other leg. Really sitting anyway works. And if you're not feeling like you're propped up enough, sometimes more than one block will be the answer. Maybe sitting with the back against the wall or without that extra support, depending on what works for you. So you're going to draw the chin into the chest. If you're in the seated position, you lift the crown towards the head. If you're on your back, just kind of shoulders down away from your ears. And relax into your final shape. Just allow your body to settle into your final pose of our practice today. Now that the body is more open and the hips and the shoulders, we'll focus on the mental practice of yoga. It's been quite the 2 years. And what I think it's taught me, at least most of all, is really how resilient I am, how resilient we all are, and how adaptable we are to change. So sit up nice and tall, and just sit so that the line of energy from your tail up to your head is long. Bring your focus back to the breath. And part of the thing about being resilient is learning how to choose what to focus on. Learning how to choose how to expend our energy and our time. So in a simple exercise, we're going to visualize our thoughts in our head when they come up. We're going to look at them as if they were clouds in the sky on a blue sky day. So first picture in your mind a blue sky. Visualize that behind your eyes. And when you're breathing in and out and there's no distracting thoughts, you're just feeling blissful and calm here. Feeling anchored in your body. Just visualize that feeling and that sensation like a blue sky. And then when you hear distracting noise or a thought comes up for you, visualize that thought as a cloud. And it's going to taint your blue sky, but
Doesn't have to for long. Just notice the cloud. Notice its shape, what it looks like, and then let it go. And focus instead on the blue sky. You visualize even lying or sitting under that blue sky on a beautiful day. And visualize that sky until again a distracting thought comes up. Try not to beat yourself up for getting distracted. Just notice the thought that comes up for you. And then choose to focus on the blue sky. Focus on your breathing. And let the clouds flow by. Notice the thoughts that come up for you and let them go. You can attend to all the things. Choose to focus on the breath. Choose to let the distractions go. Just for a few more moments. Drop your chin towards your chest. As you flutter your eyes open, just look towards the earth. Slowly lift your chin, lift your gaze. Roll to hands and knees.
Press back to wide child's pose. Arms reaching forward on the blocks or on the floor. Head drops down. Take a moment here to ground yourself one more time. And then tuck your toes under. You're going to walk your hands back towards your feet and we'll end in ragdoll, leaning over the legs. So with your feet to the outer edges of the mat, bring your hands and hold your opposite elbows and really pull yourself down towards the earth. With a generous knee bend, pull your body side to side. Let go of any tension, any worry, any expectation or judgment. Hopefully you're feeling good, you're feeling like you've let go of tension in your body, you've practiced focusing on being present in your body and getting out of your head. So drop your arms and slowly roll up to stand so your head is the last thing to rise. As you come into a standing position, take a few moments just to like lift your shoulders up to your ears, bring them up real high, kind of make like a funny little face. And then breathe out of your mouth, drop your shoulders down, breathe out of your mouth. Let's do that a couple more times.
I'm just gonna do it on my knees. You can do it standing or seated. I just don't know if you can see me. Bring your shoulders up or do the little squishy face thing. And then breathe out, eyes open. Maybe the tongue out like lion's breath. And one more time as we prepare for whatever's coming next. Nice cleansing breath. Shoulders to your ears. Make that little squishy face. Then lion's breath, tongue out, eyeballs open. All right, bring your hands together. Thanks so much for practicing with me virtually. I hope you enjoyed this nice little desk worker counter pose stretch class. And I thank you so much for your support of the 24-Hour Yogapalooza and the CHIO Hospital and their work with cancer research. My name is Jenn Stow. I thank the organizers so much for having me. And if you're looking to connect with me virtually, I'm at Jenn Stow on Instagram, Jennifer Stow on Facebook. And I teach at the Movati in Orleans and Train Yards and in person at Pure Yoga, Ottawa. My website is jenniferstow.com. I look forward to seeing you soon in person. Namaste.